The following is a Continental Cablevision sports presentation.
For the second weekend in a row, rain has drenched the tri-state area. But this Saturday, the skies are clearing and we will have football. Many teams in Section 1 are playing this week for pride. But for Horace Greeley and Poughkeepsie, the second season begins this afternoon. A Section 1 Class B semifinal battle of two undefeateds. The Quakers and the Pioneers next on Continental Cablevision. From Horace Greeley High School in Chappaqua, New York, welcome to the playoffs on Channel 6. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chris Riso and Jim Campion. A surprising battle of two undefeateds, the Quakers and the Pioneers 6-0.
And the operative word there is surprising. I don't think anybody thought that Greeley and Poughkeepsie would be here, but Chris, that's why they play the games, that's why we show up to broadcast them, that's why you're there watching them. I mean, you have two teams here, beginning of the season. Who would have thought? And specifically Greeley in our area. Coach Tribow has done a fantastic job with this team. I don't think he's ever been more proud of a football team than he is with this one. Their key moment this year was beating Yorktown a couple of weeks ago. Of course, two-time state champs. That really gave them legitimacy. They went on to win their next game after that, and that brings them here undefeated, and they did it all without Mike Lardiere, their biggest player, but he'll be there today.
They have quarterback leadership, a senior, John Bard.
And we had a chance to see John Bard a couple of years ago. Rob and I, the very first game he ever played, he wasn't supposed to be there. Peters, their starting quarterback, well, he couldn't make the game. It was against Ossining, huge game. He was, quite frankly, the best guy in the field that day, and we could see right then that he was going to be a good quarterback. And this is his piece de resistance. Today, it's his senior year, biggest game he's ever played in, and we're here to see it.
Well, Poughkeepsie has made it undefeated. They've made the trip down, and they are led a one-man wrecking crew quarterback, Sean Forte. Watch for him at number 25. You can't miss him. He is the offense. 19 rushing touchdowns, 7 more through the air, 900 yards on the ground, averaging almost 11 yards a carry. He is a lot of fun to watch. Coach Tribow wants to keep him between the tackles, don't want to flush him out. We'll be back for the kickoff. Horace Greeley and Poughkeepsie, the semifinals, Section 1 Class B football on Channel 6.
Clarkstown 911, what's your emergency?
911? My house is on fire.
Okay, hold on, I'm transferring your call.
County 911, do you have an emergency?
Yes, it's a fire.
What is the address?
It's here in New City. It's 18 New Hempstead Road.
Okay, evacuate the house. The fire department is on the way.
In a fire emergency, your call goes to your local police for transfer to your fire department. It is important that you know this, and important that you call 911 in case of any emergency.
Back at Horace Greeley High School, and set for we had the introductions of the starting lineups as well as the national anthem. Two teams meeting at midfield for the coin toss.
Hi guys, Chuck Peeps. Good luck today. Hi guys, good luck. Chuck Peeps. Good luck today. Guys, want to shake hands, introduce yourselves? All right, men. Let me introduce today's officials. The headlinesman been on the Poughkeepsie side of the field be Rick Adams. Your umpire today is Don Cacchione. Your field judge on the Greeley side is Bob Sutherland. He will have the official time. As they just said, the scoreboard won't be working today. So he has the official time. If you need to know how much time's left in the game, he's the one to check with. Just a couple things. We've talked to both your coaches, as we've done in the past, taunting, baiting, finger pointing, sportsmanlike behavior at utmost today. We have two great teams. We have a great ball game. Anything that happens will be penalized immediately, so please avoid. If we call a penalty, we'll call the captains. Please understand what the options are before you give me what your decision is. Once I take your decision, once you give me your decision, that's what we have to go with, okay? So make sure you understand what your options are. Who's going to call the toss for Poughkeepsie? That's a head, that's a tail. I'm going to catch it so we don't lose it in the mud. Call it while it's in the air. Calls a head, and it's a tail. Blue, you've won the toss. You can take your choice now or the second half.
Take the ball.
You want the ball. Which end do you want to defend? Please turn your backs that way. Blue has won the toss, and they will receive at this end. White, you'll be kicking from that direction. Any questions? Guys, it's time to play football. Good luck.
Second season begins, Jimmy, the playoffs, and Horace Greeley and Poughkeepsie undefeated, 6-0 apiece, although no common opponents. Very interesting enough.
That's true, and they have nothing really to go by. Again, very surprising season for both football teams. Being more specific with Horace Greeley, because they're within our viewership area, Chris. I mentioned the Yorktown game on October 14th, 2 weeks ago, prior to the Lincoln victory, in which they really proved, kind of stamped their 95 season and said, listen, we're here, we beat the state champs on the road, we're going to do something here, and then they end up going undefeated. But another key game, on September 16th, before anybody knew anything about this season, Chris, they beat Ossining, and that's a huge win for them, or anybody at this point, at any point in Class B, and that is always a key game for Yorktown to go on to win state championships. I don't know if that is going to be the case this year with Horace Greeley. They, of course, hope so. But the Ossining game was big because it really changed the fortunes of both programs. Ossining went nowhere after that, 500 season or just above, and Greeley, of course, undefeated at 7-0. We should mention here at the top of the cast, just to give our trucks, people in the truck, we do not have any monitors, and due to the strained area in which we can see the field, we really need to get them corrected. So if
46, Maurice Bennett will be kicking for Poughkeepsie back deep for the Quakers. Number 80 is Dwayne McKenzie, flanked by a number 30 who's not on the roster, and McKenzie at the 17, and he is met and dropped in the mud. So we will have a very fun afternoon here in the mud. The skies have cleared, but this is good old-fashioned football.
Oh, this is going to be great. You know, Bill Trimbo a couple of years ago, he called him one of the gruffiest guys on the sidelines for Section 1, and he wore a suit subsequently that week for me and said, you know, I'm going to dress up, going to look real nice. Today he said, Jim, I left my suit at home. This is old-fashioned football. We're going to get muddy. We're going to get crazy.
No.
And you're right, Chris. Even though it's cleared up, this is 2 or 3 days of serious rain, including all day and all night last night.
Fumble on the snap from center, and Bard, forward progress may give him back to the line of scrimmage. So a loss of about a half yard will bring up 2nd and 10.
We should also mention to the people in the truck that Steve-O is helping us with the monitor, so he is not on a camera right now. You're very welcome, Michael. Again, during the pregame warm-ups, Chris, a lot of fumbled snaps, you know, on the punt stuff, and you expect it in this game.
Bard keeps it on 2nd down, breaking tackles into the secondary, and John Bard will be close to a Greeley 1st down.
Excellent run by Bard. That is a play that Coach Trimbo likes to run. Greeley, everyone knows it's coming, but they found it hard to stop this year, obviously, by the evidence of a 7-0 record. He likes to get Bard on the outside. It's an option play, quote-unquote, but really all it is Bard getting the ball under his arm and running upfield and creating something, and that time he created a 1st down.
71 up front for Poughkeepsie is Keith Wood. 75, the big man, Ian Kerwin. And across the front 7, number 77 is Chris Cuomo, and number 70, Keith Wood, as we said, 5'11", 235. First down for the Quakers. Huge hole for Lardiere as he is back into the Quaker lineup and picks up 6 yards on first down.
Great looking tackle, though, that time by the star of this team, Sean Forte. Took the legs out from under Lardiere, but that's got to be a big carry for him because it's been so long since he has done something for this Greeley team. He really wants to get going. This is obviously the biggest game of his career. He and Bard have grown. We've seen them grow over the years from our broadcast, Chris, and these guys now with a chance to put Greeley on the map. They're on the way to a bowl game.
Well, the objective of Bill Tribo for Greeley, wing T offense, tackle to tackle, smash mouth football, and it's a good thing they got their fullback back. Second and 4.
Especially on a day like today.
Bard keeps it short side, and he will have another Quaker first down. Tackle by 60, not on the roster, pardon me, that is Fabio Rossi on the tackle. And we've lost our monitors again. Okay, absolutely.
Should mention, Chris, also about this play that you'll see a lot today with Bard running the outside, about Bill Tribo's his mantra all season long, and I'll mention it after this play, and that's very evident of that.
Lardiere over right side for the first time. 4 more yards on first down. What they will do with the quarterback is they'll run the option, but it's not really an option. It's kind of a we're not even gonna juke around with the option. We're just gonna fake the dive and run our quarterback around the right side. No, we're still not up. And they will use the halfback as a blocker, a lead blocker for Bard around the right side. So it's not so much of an option, it's just pretty much a quarterback keeper.
And as I was mentioning before that last play, Chris, Bill Tribo has said all along this year, nothing too exciting, nothing wacky. Control the line of scrimmage, pay attention and protect the football, and don't make any mistakes on defense and miss assignments.
And our monitors are back on second down, and Bard will be close to another Greeley first down.
Again, you know, nothing pretty, nothing strange, no misdirections. You won't see any blitzes on their defenses. You won't see any strange formations. All you will see is good, solid blocking up front, a heady quarterback that can make the plays, and you take a look at him there.
Tackle once again.
The other play from Coach Tribo.
Tackle once again by Sean Forte, and I think we will have, I mean, the quarterbacks are usually the guys you isolate on during the game, but in this case, both sides of the football for both teams. I got to admit, I'm anxious to see Sean Forte run this Poughkeepsie offense because he is, I mean, when you come down to high school, you usually have outstanding athletes who take the majority of the weight upon them. But in this case, that is exactly what Forte does.
The word I've gotten from a lot of people in the media, some of the writers here say this team could very well be a one-win, no-win team without Forte's talents. A lot of Division I football teams in college are looking at him. He's got an incredible amount of speed. He obviously plays some good defense. We saw an excellent tackle earlier in this drive, and he could throw the football, maybe not very crisp passes, but I heard a very good deep ball, so you may see some long bombs by Poughkeepsie today, especially with the wet field. I like the idea of a guy cutting, knowing where he's going to go, as opposed to a secondary player, so you may start to see some big plays, and that is why this kind of drive is so important for Greeley, because right here, the Quakers are controlling the line of scrimmage, moving the football, and also they're letting that clock tick down. It's a 3rd and short, so we'll see. This is probably 2-down territory at this point.
3rd and inches, power eye for the Quakers, and Lardiere's got it. He spins, and that spin will give him a first down. Tackle by 71, Keith Wood. Excuse me, 71 is not on the roster, so these are very incomplete rosters. 70 is Keith Wood. So we will have some fun this afternoon, hopefully get some numbers from the Poughkeepsie staff, which is up here in the press box with us.
Lardiere, co-captain, along with Bard, and Dan Fallon, 89.
And Greeley wants time, so just underway. As we heard the officials say, the scoreboard does not work, Jimmy, so the official score is up here in the booth, so it's actually kept down on the field. And so far, John Bard, 4 rushes, 24 yards leading the way for the Quakers.
Both these teams like to run their quarterbacks. You'll see them lead the team, especially Bard with Lardiere out most of the season, running the football, running the option, and getting some help from the clock people here with 8 minutes left. It's a beautiful new facility here, built just a couple of years ago, because last time I did a game here, which was I think about 93, they did not have this here. And it's great, but you just can't can't see certain parts of the field. You cannot see the clock, which is the only drawback. Otherwise, it's beautiful. We're protected from the rain, and you get a good look at most of the field from the 20s.
The grounds of this school are just beautiful. Chappaqua, New York is one of the most picturesque places you'd ever want to see.
Especially around this time. Great with the leaves changing and everything else. And the sun's out.
Bard on first down keeps it and is met. Number 1 is Maurice Gray, 6'2", 235 senior.
Great play by Gray. He just cut right through there. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, you and I, about the North Rockland game. The Red Raiders like to use that gap shooting defense, and that time Gary comes out of nowhere from his linebacker position to just take out Bard. That's the first time they ran that play right, and Bard, as you see, has got plenty of Chappaqua dirt and mud all over him. It was not successful from the right side. So obviously more successful running to the short side of the field. That time they ran it to the long side, and Gray was there to make the stop.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Bard back to pass for the first time, and he throws it away. Flag on the play, and it could be any one of a million things. It could be intentional grounding, holding, face mask. And it is a face mask on the Pioneers.
And that's 15 yards in high school, no matter what kind. So
Ouch.
That's a personal foul right there.
That is a brutal one. And that keeps the Greeley drive going just when the Pioneers get a little defensive momentum.
That's right. It would have been a 3rd and 11. And instead, it'll be a first down, automatic first down inside the 20-yard line.
Our referee, Chuck Peeves, marking off the spot.
With a face mask on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You know, with so many games this afternoon, Jimmy, it's not really considered. These are playoffs for these teams. There's the final 16 in A, B, C, and D.
You lose, you go home.
But there are so many other games that these aren't quite yet the cream of the crop. We'll have that next week. The guys are hand-picked to ref those playoff games.
Uh-oh. Lardieri put it on the ground, Chris.
And Poughkeepsie football recovered by 44, Ron Graham. And it will be Pioneer football, 1st and 10, and it looks like their own 18-yard line.
Tough break and a bad end to an excellent drive by the Quakers. They did not put the ball up once officially. As you know, it was a penalty on the pass play that went incomplete, so that was null and void. And Coach Tribo, who teaches, hang on to the football, don't make the mistakes, let's not beat ourselves, find his team beating themselves right after Poughkeepsie handed them 15 yards, and they were able to get it back. And look at number 75 on the other side.
Ian Kerwin already war-torn, and we're midway through the first quarter.
Ian Kerwin.
Maurice Gary, fullback in the I formation. Forte wants to pass on first down, tucks it and runs, and he is met. Maybe a yard pickup.
Rob Speck, another captain. I'm sorry, there are 4 captains. I didn't mention Rob, so what does he do? He comes up with a big tackle on the first play from scrimmage. And the key thing here for Coach Tribo that Chris mentioned in the pregame show is containment. Do not want to get this kid Forte outside. Do not want to have him ad-libbing offensively. And he's big, he's strong, he's quick, he's got a good arm. And that time, he was contained very nicely by the big guy inside.
Forward momentum gave him 2 yards on first down, second down, first man through. Maurice Gary, and he moves the pile up about 6 yards. Will bring up a 3rd and about 2 at the 25.
And once again, a man possessed, Speck in there on the tackle. He drags him down, and he has been hard to handle right now early for Poughkeepsie. I think they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and find a way to block big number 64. Obviously a talented player. He is the captain, another senior on this team, and I was remiss in not mentioning him. But this is a big 3rd down now for Poughkeepsie. They've just been run all over. They like to get some first downs themselves.
Midway through the first quarter, no score here from Horace Greeley High School. Gary on the dive, and it will be close.
I think he's short. Nope, I'm totally wrong. I'm 0 for 1 already. They didn't even measure that. I thought that was very close.
Clock stops for the movement of the chains. First down for Poughkeepsie. They're first on the afternoon, so they'll have the ball at their own 23-yard line. About 5.5 minutes left. First quarter.
Quality tackle by Luke Carlo on the play, but a nice job by Gray. Finds the sticks. Interestingly enough, Coach Thompson does not go with his big gun on that big 3rd and short. He goes to the running backs.
Slot right on first down. Gary fumbles. And And he gets it back.
Boy, look at Gray just rip that thing from the pile.
Boy, Gary wanted that football. Keith Lee,
very close.
Curtis Lee dove in that pile, but he's about half the size of the Greeley defensive lineman.
Take a look at it again. This thing pops right out, Chris. It just comes right flying out of here.
Bang.
And Gray, look at Gray, just throws bodies all over the place, grabs it and says, I'm going to get up right now, and I'm going to rip that ball out of there, and I'm going to keep it for my team.
Gilbert Song, 55, forced the fumble, which will bring up a 2nd and 11.
You note the interesting number, 25 for a quarterback.
He was the halfback last year, that's why, and I guess good luck. Lets it fly, single coverage, pass is complete.
Goodness.
Inside Greeley territory, down it at the 36-yard line, pass complete to number 33.
Oh my
Check
goodness.
that, 37, thank goodness we got the number. Jerry North, 5'8", 155, just a sophomore.
Lack of adjectives, Chris. Look at this beautiful pass. I mean, this is right on the numbers. The kid never broke stride. That, against double coverage, he put that in there. Put that in the file and save it for highlight time, Mikey Minor, because that was a serious pass. Woo!
First down for the Pioneers at the Greeley 36-yard line. Coming up on 4 minutes left, first quarter. High formation, Curtis Lee, second man through. His first carry gets about 2.
If you guys got that thing on again, man, I'd like to see that. That was an absolutely incredible pass, Chris. That was the best pass we've seen all year, right on the numbers.
Pat Vetter on the tackle for Greeley, and North did not break stride.
One more time before this next play, guys. Watch this straight drop, little play action,
Little bit
stands
of
tall.
a he put just enough air under it.
It's gorgeous.
And the best thing about that
Little
is
bit
to
of
teach a young
this
receiver,
guy,
particularly a
San Marino.
sophomore, run under the football, and
Right.
he did not break stride.
You got it.
Second down is Maurice Gary breaking tackles. Maurice Gary with one man to beat at the 10, and he's dragged down inside the 5-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Adam Wagner. First and goal for the Poughkeepsie Pioneers.
Well, when you can throw the football, you can run the football, and vice versa. And Gray that time getting a huge hole. You got to worry about the quarterback, but you can't forget about the running backs. Gray is making hay here in the first quarter. There he goes through the line, and he is all the way down to the 4-yard line. And I know that was an Astorino asterism, but I did the best I could. That was my best.
I called him Gray, you called him Gary. I call him Gary, you called him Gray.
Okay,
let's
whatever.
call the whole thing off. His name is Maurice.
Fair enough. What is his name? His
Flags
name's
down on
Gary.
first and goal.
I called him Gray?
So did I, so don't worry about
Well, my face is red.
it.
All right, I'm off for the day.
With 3 minutes left, first quarter, illegal procedure down by the goal line, hurting the Pioneers.
Second mistake of the game.
We have a
with
dead
the
ball.
referees,
We have a
Chris,
false
as
start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We're going to repeat first down.
face mask penalty and now an illegal procedure right at the goal line. But this might be a break for the Pioneers because the quarterback can do a lot more from this.
Good point. Good point, Jimmy. Slot right on first and goal from about the 7. Forte wants to throw, rolling out. He's got room to run inside the 6-yard line. Gave him about a yard.
What a
Stringing
play.
it out. 64, Rob Speck, and 89, co-captain Dan Fallon, stringing it out and forcing Forte out of bounds.
Fallon and Speck having a captain's meeting at the quarterback. Take a look at it here again. Speck does a great job stringing this out. He cannot easily have the speed of this kid, but he goes right with him. Look at him. He runs all the way across the field. That's a 25-yard dash, and he drags the All-State senior out of bounds.
And there's sportsmanship by Forte, helping up the tackler.
Yes, sir. Good hard play by Speck. He did not give up on that play. That's a hell of a play.
Second and goal inside the 6 for Poughkeepsie. Option, good hands by Curtis Lee, but he will be dragged down short of the goal line, mark it at about the 2. 81, Luke Karloff, first man to get him for Horace Greeley.
What a play by Karloff. Oh, did he make a good play. We have seen some great pursuit by this Greeley defensive line right now. First it was Speck, and then after that it was Luke Karloff. He's to the left, Speck's to the right. These guys are looking money. They're ready to go. This is a huge game winner, and that man's team goes on to a bowl game.
2
Loser,
minutes left in the
they
opening
go home.
quarter, and that one was saved by Curtis Lee. If not for those hands from the diminutive one in the I-back position, they would have had turnover city.
Look out for Forte.
Power I on third down. Flags everywhere. Pass in the slot. Incomplete, intended for Adrian Faircloth. And we will check to see the penalty.
that might be a motion penalty, a legal procedure. I think this is going against the offense. That's my guess. Movement, and Poughkeepsie right now shooting themselves in the foot. Their third penalty here in a very early in the contest in the first quarter. And it's a big, big stand for Greeley. They have made some outstanding plays defensively.
Now, that is not a dead ball penalty, so it is not an automatic 5 yards back. It's Greeley's choice. Jimmy, do you give them fourth? Do you give them fourth and goal at the 3, or do you push them back 5 yards and give it third and 8?
Legal procedure on the offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat third down.
I think a procedure penalty is a dead ball foul, is it not? Oh, they didn't stop the play.
They did not stop the play. They gave it was Greeley's choice. See Speck talking to Tribo.
I tell you, I know it's crazy because you're going to get the ball to your own 2 if they don't make it. But I'll be honest with you, it's tougher to make a field goal if they don't make it, and it really keeps Forte in check. There's less things to do with the 2. I think you disagree. You probably.
I do disagree. I would not give Forte 2 downs in this territory.
All right, he's got 2 downs anyway. Let's see.
Power eye. Forte rolls right. He's got no one open in the back of the end zone. Faircloth. Touchdown! Outstanding catch by Adrian Faircloth in the end zone.
What a catch!
And the Pioneers lead 6-0.
What a
fantastic play, Jimmy.
But in an even better pass, Chris, because that ball was lofted in the right spot. He's covered tightly. He gets weak side help defensively, and yet he lays it in there nicely. This is a great catch by Faircloth. But look at this pass by Forte. He rolled. Look at it. For his receiver. Then he lost it up there, no chance for the pickoff, and there was a mistake by Poughkeepsie, who had 2 guys in the same area, and what a great job by our cameraman on that isolated shot. We got to see that again. That was a fantastic play and a great job by our cameraman.
You know, from up here, Jimmy, I thought it was incomplete. The ball disappeared between the defender and the receiver, and that camera angle gave us a shot of Faircloth gathering it in.
Good hands.
Good
all hands that time, Chris. No arms, no chest. That was all digits.
And the extra point is up and good. Fabio Rossi. So with about 1 minute and 25 seconds left in the first quarter, our score, Poughkeepsie 7 and Horace Greeley nothing.
Here it is from the end zone camera. Once again, watch Forte. He rolls out here. Now he's going to direct. He's going to direct the receiver right there. He sees him, and then he looks him off and tosses it up high so he can't be picked off. And great hands by Faircloth. Excellent catch. Great play. Good call.
Something you don't want from your offensive receivers. 2 guys in the same position, but I think they both converged on the football once it was in the air.
Good
because
point.
North had drifted to the back of the end zone. Faircloth was supposed to roll with Forte, and Forte did a nice job. He threw against the grain, and Faircloth concentration.
And it looked to me from that isolated camera on the quarterback that he was waving him, that it was a play in which did not work at first. And give Forte credit not only with the pass and the ability to keep his eye on the receiver and look the other receiver off, Chris, but the fact of the matter is he had to waste time, he had to take time there. He let the rushers come in knowing he's going to get hit. He made sure he had the pass in the right spot and got it there. Boy, this kid in one drive has proved all what we have been hearing for weeks. He's a heck of a football player.
Well, I had thought of him more in the mold of, say, an Oklahoma old-time wishbone quarterback, but he can certainly throw the football. He puts a lot of air under it.
He can.
The up back is Pat Vetter, and another loose football, and Poughkeepsie with another break here. Late first quarter, they will have the ball again. 1st and 10 on the Greeley 39.
Boy, very unlike a Quaker team this year that has really kept their eye and their hands on the football. But I'm wondering if Coach Thompson told his kicker to do this. Instead of kicking it deep, now, this is a bad play if they don't get the fumble because Greeley, who ran all over them in this whole quarter, gets the ball at the 40. But this guy's not supposed to be running with the ball. This guy's supposed to be blocking. So he gets hit, and the ball's flying all over the place. And we said it in the pregame. The ball's wet. The sun is out now, but this rain we had last night was incredible.
Curtis Lee causing the fumble. Vetter coughed it up. A chance I would pass on 1st down. Take advantage right while the team is down, while they're bleeding, go for the kill.
All right, Bobby Knight, here we go.
Faircloth, lots of hair under it. His receiver fell down, and Bard has the intercept at the 24-yard line.
Riso makes the call. We're going the other way. Quarterbacks meeting on that one. John Bard, the recipient of that bad pass.
It looked like Faircloth was the intended receiver.
Oh, the receiver fell down.
That's right. And John Bard was right there. Looked like a fair catch.
Well, you could thank the field for the fumble. You could thank the field for the guy falling down. And that's Mother Nature equalizing everything here. Everything is equal when there's rain or mud or snow. And 3 turnovers in the game, 2 for Greeley, 1 for Poughkeepsie. No bigger for the Quakers, because really, Chris, they were looking down the barrel of a 14-0 deficit, and I was just having some fun with you, but I agree. I think you got to throw the pass there and go for the gusto. When you got a team down, you get the football right back, and it looks like there's going to be a clip on the pickoff run back. Yep. Clip on the run back, so this is going to come all the way back to the 25, but still the Quakers.
When you ask defensive guys to block, sometimes they get a little overzealous and
they do. They
a
get
clip
crazy.
happens.
They get an extra shot. They get a free shot there on the run back. But a good job by Bard, who stayed with his man and played ball that time. If he would have stayed with his man, he'd be lying on the turf next to him. Instead, he got the ball and he was running the other way.
1st and 10 for the Quakers, just short of their own 25-yard line.
Let's not forget that the Greeley did not have a problem running the football the first time they had it. They drove right down the field and fumbled at the 19, so they're in good shape offensively.
Lardiere, 2 yards on 1st down. And another important thing for Greeley, I mean, it is early, needless to say, but they're a running football team, and when you are a running football team 99% of the time, you're not in a comeback mode. Comeback mode meaning you have to get points quick. They're a grind-it-out kind of team.
You got to stay in your game plan until third quarter, even if it's still 7-0. You got to stay in your game plan.
Bard to throw in the flat, intended for Lardiere, incomplete. Defensive coverage by Fabio Rossi.
Coach Strybo and the entire partisan Greeley crowd here at Horace Greeley High School's campus wanted the interference, but it was excellent coverage that time by number 60. Take a look at it again. Very good coverage. Here comes the ball. It's way over his head, and he hit him right when the ball passed him. So good coverage, good play. And you see the football rolling harmlessly to the turf, and it'll make, say, 3rd down and 8 here.
One thing we find when you get bigger schools, Jimmy, I mean, we find athletes of every level, as far as A, B, C, and D, with coming up on less than a minute left in the opening quarter. This probably will be the last play. The mobility of the bigger players really impressed me on this field. We've seen a couple on both sides. In the flat, good hands, but it'll be well short of a 1st down. Catch by Luke Carlaw, 6'5", 255-pound senior, will bring up a 4th down.
He's built like a classic tight end with the classic tight end number and hands. Bard this time, he leads him. He might have the 1st down. He does not lead him. He throws behind him. He has to make the good catch. Means he gets tackled in the flat, and that means a 4th down punt. But certainly better than having having to defend a first down inside your own territory after a fumble. So Greeley does not take advantage of the turnover like Poughkeepsie does, but they can kick it away here.
Alex Grishman hits the deck but gets it away. So a nice job by Grishman. Turns into a nice 40-yard kick.
That's right.
For the 6-foot junior, and he now is dirty.
And he gets a
He may not have gotten dirty the entire afternoon, but he's dirty now.
That's right. He gets a nice keister full of mud for that. And we will not replay that for him and his family and the wonderful people who love him very much.
This should be the waning moments of the 1st quarter.
And it is, Christopher.
And the way the refs are discussing it, it most definitely is. Well,
turnovers, the story here in a muddy field, Chris, and Poughkeepsie takes advantage of it. Greeley has not yet.
1 quarter complete from Horace Greeley High School. These are the playoffs on Channel 6.
They're your biggest accomplishment. No matter what your life's work is, your children are the most important thing you have. Immunize them early against hepatitis B, so they won't join the 300,000 people each year who develop hepatitis B, or the 5,000 people that die yearly from hepatitis B liver disease. For information, call your doctor or the Westchester County Department of Health. Protect your biggest accomplishments.
Weather's clear, Jim. Sun peeking in and out on this Saturday afternoon. Most of the games in Section 1 have been canceled because of the conditions of the field. These two teams wanted to get this one in. Poughkeepsie glad thus far. Maurice Gary on 1st down.
Boy, Gary there, carrying that thing like a loaf of bread back from the A&P. He almost lost it himself, and there would have been a long amount of real estate running the other way in this developing quagmire for Greeley to be able to get going here.
This field, though, is in fine shape. I mean, we got here. It's a lot
spongy.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot more damp. I mean, it's a lot more actually wet than it looks. And I know, as you can tell by the middle of the field, is already being grinded up.
Yep.
We were on the field prior to the game.
Good
and your feet do disappear into the wetness, but they don't slip. Forte on the option.
Wow, gutsy play and this mud and everything.
Not much yardage on second down. Iran Otero, number 28, the ball carrier.
Gilbert's Song on the tackle. He came across it. We're seeing some great pursuit by these quicker defense. They have been able to get there and get in their face. And if not for 2 heroic plays, really fine plays by a guy you expected from in Forte, they would have stopped him the first time. And because of Forte, they are up on the Pioneers 7-0. Big third down here at the 45, Chris.
Third and about 4.5. Slot short side. Gary moves the pile, or at least tries to. And the man we got on for getting dirty, Alex Grishman, comes up with the tackle on third down. It'll bring up about 4th and 2.
There you go, Alex. We'll probably show that one again because you did a fine job. But it was a team meeting at the running back that time, and I think the Pioneers would behoove themselves to punt. But I'll tell you, Coach Thompson knows he's got a weapon. He's got a gun out there, and I think he's going to fire it. I think he's going on 4th down.
Don't blame him at all. I mean, this is a team with a weapon who can strike at any time. Gary needs to get down a little bit more, bend his knees a little more. He's a man who can move the pile, but he's moving straight up.
He's a big kid.
And he's a bigger target to hit.
I'll tell you right now, though, as we look right in on Mr. Pigskin and pull out here, this is a huge play for the Greeley defense right here.
4th and a long 2. They need to get just short of midfield. Gary.
He does not have it.
Does not have it.
No way. I'm looking right
Greeley
down the line. They stopped him. Great push up front, led by 64, Rob Speck, and the rest of the right side of the defense, and Gary is down. Look at this play. Oh, that's a push up front. No blockers there. They crushed through, and 64 did all of it. Speck did all of it. He got underneath the blocker. You know how they say in blocking, you got to get underneath the armpit. You got to get under there before the guy can block you, because the center of gravity is yours. That time, Speck never gave anybody a chance. He read the play, went right through there, and busted through to Gary. Great play.
He not only got underneath the blocker, but the point is he got underneath Maurice Gary, who was running too high as a fullback. If he bends those shoulders, he's just too darn big, and his forward progress would have given him the first down. Single back formation on first down. A new quarterback in the game as Lardiere carries forward progress. Maybe gave him a yard. Number 15 is Andrew Swatonic.
And he is way too clean. Somebody throw mud on that kid.
And now Bard will be back in the game.
Well, I just said they're not going to try any wacky stuff, and they lined some kid up on the center. We didn't know what's going on. They're fooling us already. Coach trying something from the back of the playbook. Got to get Bard back in there, though, obviously.
Lardiere's forward progress did give him 2 yards, 2nd and 8.
I guess he must have tried that earlier this season. And we're getting word from some of the guys here who know the program saying that they've tried that a couple of times this season.
Bard back into QB. Lardiere dropped by 75 as Ian Kerwin, and what they did on the previous play, as we were just told, is that they put Bard in at a wingback position.
Yes, to get him up the field because he's a good runner. That time they put Kearns in the backfield, and he ran wide and took the linebacker with him, opening up things. Once Lardiere got through the front line, he was able to pick up a couple extra yards because the linebacker had to watch Kearns roll to the left. He was number 80, lining up behind Lardiere. Let's see here now.
3rd and 4, official timeout.
Official timeout. They come up with a single back here, Lardiere. Interesting, though, Coach Thompson, I want to ask you, it's a little too early to be second-guessing or discussing strategy in a football game, but we'll be looking back at the end of this game. After this play, we'll talk about it, at all the different plays and how they were run.
Bard, naked bootleg, and he splits the defense, drags tacklers. That was all John Bard, finally tackled by 51 Paxton Gardner, who was dragged across the first down marker.
What a play by John Bard, and there's a man shaken up for Poughkeepsie, number 24, Curtis Lee, because he had Bard dead to rights, and then look at this run. This is all him, as he said. Watch 25 come through here. He's got a shot. No, he's gone. And then he's playing flag football. So one of the Pioneers thinks it's flag football. We got a tackle here. But great run by Bard. But I was going to mention, is it quizzical here early in this game that Coach Thompson did not go with Forte on those 2 short 3rd and 4th shorts? He did not go with him. We said the reason why he went on 4th down is because he had the weapon and he never used it.
Bard looks to throw in the flat double coverage. Pass incomplete, but a flag down. Intended for number 89 is Dan Fallon, but coverage and probably a pass interference on Antonio Scott.
Antonio Scott was completely outmanned here. He could not deal with the taller man. He's 5'8". Number 89, Dan Fallon, 6'5". You know what that means? Jump ball, I win.
I'll tell you, if I had that matchup down low, I'd post him up every time, and that's what they tried to do with Fallon.
That's exactly what they did, Chris. He just put it up there.
Defensive pass interference. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
In defense of Antonio Scott, he was obviously almost a foot shorter. So rather than get beat there, he just dragged on his arm. Watch it again.
Take a look at it again. It's hard to see from this angle, but that pass would have probably still been incomplete. But I think Scott did the best he could. I mean, he looks up and all he sees is hands going over his head. I guess he's going to try to pull him down.
Speaking of hands, you know, that pass was definitely catchable by Steve Chavone down there from Gannett. He never even tried for it. We got Lombardi down there from the Patent Trade. Guys are completely out of shape. Too busy smoking cigars and drinking coffee in the war room.
Lardiere on first down, nothing. Number 70 is Keith Wood, 5'11", 235, senior.
Nice tackle.
Drop Lardiere behind the line of scrimmage.
Keith Wood coming busting through there. Lardiere, not an easy man to take down. Very large individual at 5'7", 165. Not tall, but very beefy, and he has been the bulk of this Greeley running attack for most of these past 3 years that he has been with the program. And should take a look at it. Good crowd today because a lot of the people here have come over from the other games. As Chris mentioned, there's Chavone right there. Everybody from the other games are here today. Another
flag down on 2nd and 11. Bard keeps it and is dropped once again by Keith Wood, but we will check the penalty. Looks like some type of motion penalty. Tom Hanrahan was the man in motion that time for the Quakers.
Plan, block 70. That's a plan so far. That's illegal motion. 2 guys in motion there, Christopher. It's very interesting. Again, Coach Thompson on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 from his own 49-yard line did not use Forte.
You really hate that call, don't you?
What, the fullback?
The 4th down.
We had
like
a legal
the fullback
shift.
4th down.
I would have taken the quarterback on that.
Penalty. We're going to repeat 2nd down.
I would have used the quarterback on that. Because that's why we were mentioning it before it happened. If you got the guy, you know, I'd say that's a good reason. I don't mind the gutsy call at the 50-yard line. The defense has played pretty well, although Greeley's been able to move the football all right inside the 20s, but they got inside on the 19 and fumbled their last time they were down here, Chris. Let's see what they do here on a 2nd and long.
2nd and 16. Lardiere with a hole gets back the yards for the penalty and a little bit more.
What a block up front by Rob Speck. Hey, Chris, do you have that in there? You guys have that down there? Mikey, that last play? Let me see that play again. Rob Speck, number 64, who has played an outstanding game on defense, just blocked everybody in his wake. Let's look at this again. Lardiere gets the ball. Watch 64.
Left guard.
He's just, look at this. He's just barreling people over, and then he gets help from 8 there. That's some good football.
So not only do we have the refs mic'd, but we have the players mic'd as well. Thanks a lot for that, Jim. 3rd and just short of 10 yards. Hanrahan in motion. Bard's got a man in the flat. It is over his head, incomplete. Wide open was number 80, Joe Kearns, and it'll be a 4th down. Now, Jim, 4th and 10 from your opponent's 20.
Got to go for it here. You're not going to kick a field goal in this mud patch. I don't know what their field goal kicker's like. They're down by 7. They got to go 80 yards the other way. You got to go for it here. Against the grain that time with Bard. If the plan was to go on 4 downs, I probably would have run there, try to get some yardage so your next play is within 10. But they decided to throw the ball and throw it to the left side. And number 71, who we do not have a 71 on our Poughkeepsie roster, absolutely lambasted Bard on that play. He had only a certain amount of time to make the play. All right. 4th down, do not disagree with this. Coach Tribo's got to do it. Too far for a field goal in a muddy field.
Bard rolling out, looking for Kearns in the end zone. Oh! Batted away, outstanding defensive play by Adrian Faircloth, and that could have been offensive pass interference.
Faircloth has given and taketh away from Greeley and for his team. He's the guy who caught the touchdown pass, and he shows great hands here. This is a touchdown, if not for Faircloth's last-minute play. Look at his left hand come out of nowhere.
Watch the push-off, though. He pushed Faircloth off, and Faircloth still made the defensive play.
An excellent play. He was completely parallel to the ground. He stretched as far as he could and knocked it away. That's a defensive back star right there for Faircloth. He has twice now made huge plays on that right side of the end zone. And that musical interlude brought to you by...
That's
change
the
of possession
Poughkeepsie turnover. Yeah, change of possession music. So that would have been just as good for Faircloth to intercept it because it's first down for the Pioneers at their own 20.
Oh, he did all he could just to get to that football. That was a Herculean play, especially after he was pushed off.
Curtis Lee, the ball carrier, on first down. And if you want some Chinese food, Jimmy, as we all do, Highland Oriento, the best Chinese takeout, free delivery in Croton, Briarcliff, and Austin. Calls 914-7565 or 941-0452, 190 North Highland Avenue in Austin.
Chinese food at midnight. It's time to have the stomach pumped. It's a little too late for anything that heavy, I tell you.
If that was true, I'd have been dead 5 years ago.
I love Chinese food. And I love that kind of tackle by 44, Mike Lardiere. Boy, he just busted through there and got a whole lot of running back and threw him to the turf. Great play, Chris.
Iran Otero, the ball carrier, on second down. Lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10, ball sitting squarely on the 20-yard line.
And this is why you go on 4th down, not kick field goals, and take your chances with 7 points or 3 points, because Poughkeepsie right now is struggling from their end of the end zone. And again, this field is getting more and more chewed up. You got to watch out for the snaps and the fumbles here. There's a good look at Forte as he checks over the D.
They have gone inside for the most part. Forte escapes traffic, tucks and runs. Sean Forte is dragged short, well short of a first down. Alex Grishman, the first man to hit him.
Great play by Forte. How the heck did he gain any yardage? But what a play by Lardiere. He made this play go inside. If he gets outside 44, watch him fend off the defender, the blocker. Then watch, he makes him go inside. Great play. See, if he gets outside there, Chris, it's a first down.
But you know, thus far, the game's MVP for Greeley, Rob Speck, caused that because he flushed Forte out of the pocket.
They gotta go back at halftime and get a chalkboard and put a big 64 on it and circle it, because they gotta stop him. They can't stop him.
He really has been a defensive tyrant. Back at his own 10 is Fabio Rossi, who also does the place kicking. End over end kick, but good distance, and Kearns calls for it. Did he call for a fair catch?
He slipped. He did call for a fair catch and slipped.
But he caught the ball and started to run.
No, he slipped.
Flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
What's the call? Because this is roughing the kicker. It's roughing the kicker? Because if it is,
let's not jump the gun here.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down for Poughkeepsie at the 35-yard line.
Let's listen to the officials.
We had personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Wow, that is a huge penalty. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eric Kuntz, number 50. And that, you know, he wasn't trying to take his head off, but you have to make that call.
That's running into the kicker. If you had a dictionary right now, you needed a picture, that's what it would be. Here it is. He kicks, he runs into him.
Bang.
Penalty. That is not a smart play, because that's a first down, 15 yards. And that's tough. I know he's trying to be aggressive there. It's a big game, but now instead of having the football at the 40-yard line in great shape here.
But the way the rules are now, Jimmy, you have to at least show some sign of slowing up. Slippery field or not, I mean, at least put your hands back. You know, Kuntz didn't go for the head, but he also didn't stop his momentum.
No, you gotta let the guy kick. He's completely. People say, well, what is that? The kicker's a football player. Why can't you hit him? Listen, he's completely vulnerable. His legs up in the air, his arms. He's punting, and you just can't just go plowing into the guy. That's how you get injuries. And that's a great call by the referees, and a very, very untimely play by Greeley special teams, and a first down, and that gives Forte 3 more bullets. And you don't want to be given this type of cannon.
Keith Thompson has wanted to establish the Poughkeepsie ground game inside. Maurice Gary, 46 yards on 7 carries, and he can add to that maybe about a yard. Rob Speck once again.
Somebody's got to block 64, otherwise they have scored their final points of the game. Have Poughkeepsie. You have got to get a body on this kid. He is in the backfield every play. He's like some kind of one of those missiles that just have a honer on it. And there's Coach Stribro, very proud of his 95 Greeley team. I'm sure if you would have got inside his head at the beginning of the season, he probably would have said, look, you know, if we lose a couple of games or we get, you know, into some sort of bowl game, we'll be in good shape. They're undefeated.
Forte, quick count on second down, shakes and bakes his way short of a first down by about 2 yards, pushed out of bounds by John Bard.
You provide the music, I'll do the bass drum, and we'll do a great thing, because this was a dance and a half. Look at this. I'm shooking, I'm jiving, I'm doing the moonwalk. I'm going to get myself 8 yards out of just a complete mess of the play. I don't know how he did that. He's a great player.
What I liked is they went on a quick count. They went on set, trying to draw Greeley off sides, or actually draw them out of position, which brings up a 3rd and a long 2. Make it 3rd and about 3. Coming up on the midway point of the second quarter.
I don't care what they did on that call, Chris. If you don't have another quarterback, you lose 8 yards. You don't gain 8 yards.
Poughkeepsie leads 7-0, 8-yard touchdown pass. Sean Forte to Adrian Faircloth. And a first down and more. John Bard pushes Iran Otero out of bounds inside Greeley territory. Mark it at the 45.
What a pitch. I can't say enough about this kid, Sean Forte, but that time he waited to the last second to pitch. He doesn't get that off. He gets stopped, and they got a punt. And instead, it's a first down. He has done it all. Run the option, pass, play defense, make some of the more fantastic moves we have seen from quarterback or running back. As Chris mentioned at the beginning of the game, he was a running back last season.
Faircloth, slight right side on first down, fumbled snap.
Going the other way.
Ball is still loose, and I believe Grishman's got it for Greeley and the Quakers with a turnover. Poughkeepsie had the mo. It goes back now to the Quakers. Can they take advantage?
They couldn't the last time, but now they get the ball at midfield. What a great play by 49 that
Alex
time.
Grishman.
Grishman, who...
the now famous punter.
That's all right. The guy who got a seat full of mud this time gets a face full of mud, and he's happy to get it. Let's take a look at it again. He gets a pat from all his coaching staff. This ball just never gets to Forte. It just flips up into the air there. And watch 49. He never gives up on this play. He's busting through. He's knocking people out of the way. He's got the football. We're going the other way. Greeley again. Boy, that great play.
So Horace Greeley, 1st and 10 at their own 48. Coming up on 5 minutes left. First half. Bard, straight drop. He wants it all. Double coverage down the middle of the field. It's intercepted by Sean Forte at a 20-yard line. Flag down. It'll probably come back for a clip. Forte is going to go the distance, but it will probably come back.
This kid is dynamite with leather in his hands. Right on. What a play.
So the interception stands by Forte. It'll be Poughkeepsie football, but wipe out the 6.
Bard just waited too long. He had his man open over the middle. He just waited a tad too long and then overthrew it. And Forte, one of the best players I have ever seen, was waiting for the interception.
He threw into double coverage. He locked on his receiver and threw into double coverage.
He was open for a moment.
Return, we had a clip on White. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's automatic. It's first down.
So it'll be Poughkeepsie football.
Let's take a look at this
deep in their own territory. So we take a look again.
You're not going to see it, but in the secondary, 80 is open. But right there, he's not. And there's a double team and a great play. Now watch this run back. Even though this doesn't count, look at this thing. He gets right to the sideline and he's gone. Look at the speed. Wow.
It's just amazing how much ground he covers in such a short period of time. Sean Forte, an athlete extraordinaire. It'll be Poughkeepsie football when we resume 1st and 10.
We should mention
at their own 13.
That must be the 4-minute warning, Chris. Chris Barrera, our stat guy, he didn't see a clip.
And that music can only mean Crystal Bay Seafood Dining and Catering. 737-8332. Outstanding seafood on the water.
Or it could mean that Poughkeepsie got the ball back. But I think we'll go with Crystal Bay since the graphic is up there. Go see all the boys down there. A great job they do. They got a wonderful bar right on the Hudson, and they do weddings, and they do all that other stuff, and they do things for the guy with the hat.
I've worked with people at work who have had their weddings actually at Crystal Bay. Food is outstanding, and I remember the plugs we did for them. The plugs we did, if you take a look at Rob Speck and Pat Vetter, that we did for them up in Glens Falls, talking about the DJs that they have and the things they have going on during the weekends and the food specials. And I happen to love seafood. That's one of the reasons why I love Chinese food so much. Seafood,
just like seafood.
The combination.
Seafood, you eat it. That's what you do.
Oh. See, I'm not alone up here, Jim. There's people on TV who can hear these terrible, terrible jokes. 4 minutes left in the first half, and Poughkeepsie leads in the ballgame 7-0. The only score, an 8-yard touchdown pass, Sean Forte to Adrian Faircloth. And Bard thus far 1 for 6 through the air, including an interception and 3 Greeley turnovers. That has been the story thus far.
I'd like to refute your terminology about my bad humor. I'll do that after this play. Or this penalty.
Flags down before the snap.
We should mention, in between our comedy. 5 turnovers in this game, and I think the Mudders had to do just about for the pickoff.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So delay of game on the Pioneers pushes them even further back. It'll be 1st and 15 now.
So I would agree with your adjective. I do have some bad comedy, but I would like to think of my stuff as quips and not jokes. Jokes are setups, knockdowns. Setup, knocks down. I'm not like that. You, on the other hand, are fantastic at that. I've seen your stand-up routine.
1st and 15 for the Pioneers at their own 7-yard line. This is no laughing matter for Poughkeepsie. They'd love to get out of this while keeping Greeley out of the score calling. Forte is dropped, and that's a heads-up play. He is at about the 1-yard line, and he's helped to his feet. And let me give you one guess who made the tackle, Jim Campion.
You cannot stop Rob Speck.
Rob Speck on the tackle, 64.
You can't even hope to contain
For
it.
Horace Greeley, a 6-foot, 190-pound co-captain.
There's got to be more guys with 64 on their back running around on the field. There has to be.
Coming up on 3 minutes left in the first half. Poughkeepsie leads in the game 7-0, the only score thus far. Turnovers, City, 2 fumbles on the part of Poughkeepsie, 2 fumbles and an interception by Greeley. Each time they get a little bit of momentum, they shoot themselves in the foot. 2nd down and a long.
Look out!
Fumble on the play. Ball loose in the end zone.
Who's got it?
And Mike Lardiere has himself a Horace Greeley touchdown, and just that fast, Poughkeepsie ties Greeley with turnovers and can tie the football game.
Well, thanks to that penalty that pushed them back to the goal line and that great play by the other captain, able to knock it down, Rob Speck, and then Lardiere. There it is. They tried to make something happen here. The handoff never got there. And Lardiere, like a man shot from a rocket, dives on the football, and it's 7-6. Quakers trail by 1 without the benefit of an offensive point.
Tom Hanrahan will place it down and try to tie this football game as we approach halftime.
We'll take a look at that again after the extra point. Extraordinary play by Mike Lardiere, who just dove through the bodies to jump on the ball.
Bad snap on the plate. It is a loose football. Swatonic lets it fly, and it's incomplete.
Bodies everywhere.
So Swatonic takes a beating.
They went for the deuce in the lead. Give Coach Tribo a credit there. He was going for a deuce, and instead we had ourselves a Keystone Cops going on there.
I'm just so glad that Swatonic did just not fall on the football. He did whatever he could. He picked it up, and before he was hammered, he just let it go.
It's a dead ball. You get no points on a 2-point play. You intercept it right all the way back. That woman didn't agree with the play. There it is, over his head, and then he tries to do something. He's way out here at the 25, but he's a chucking, and then it's just team meeting at the football. But I want to take a look at that fumble recovery by Lardiere, if you guys still have it down there. You guys still have that, this woman is still upset, and she's on camera, and she's out of there. That was a woman who's dead. You know what that looked like? That looked like the bank robbery. What was I'm talking about? The Patty Hearst bank robbery video there. Let's take a look at it again. Lardiere dives on the football, and the people in the truck are beside themselves with laughter at this point.
Poughkeepsie
Thank you,
holds
Chris,
on
for that reference.
to a 1-point lead. It's 7-6. About 3 minutes left in the first half. The winner of this game takes on a game tomorrow. Nyack and Pearl River will play. Their game was postponed this afternoon due to the bad weather. And off comes Tom Hanrahan's cleat. Fairclough at the 6.
I think he's got his shoe.
And Fairclough at the 9. And we have seen it all. You got to roll that, Mike, at least 7 or 8 times.
That was unbelievable. Play of the year. Nike and the football.
You know, if Don Bennett was on camera, he would have gotten an ISO of the sneaker. I guarantee you that.
Let's take a look at this again. That is fantastic.
So thank goodness for Tom Hanrahan. And there goes the sneaker.
He got all of that one.
I like that.
That's incredible. Shoelaces.
That's worth the price of admission. 1st and 10. Forte straight drop. Throws in the flat. Ortero.
Oh, nice play.
Going nowhere. Grishman with to tackle Ortero, but he refuses to go down.
Going backwards is where he's going. Great play initially by Lardiere, and excellent play there by Grishman.
And we will stop
Take a break.
2.5 minutes left as Horace Greeley takes a timeout. They have one remaining. Horace Greeley High School, Poughkeepsie is up by 1. Timeout remaining for Horace Greeley. 1 minute exactly. Thank you very much, Danny Murphy. In the first half, 7-6, got a 1-point lead.
Excuse me, Chris, if you guys in that truck have that play again, I wish this is what I beg for slow-mo. I tell you, that would be unbelievable. I think the shoe actually was going farther than the ball, and the ball actually caught up with it.
Well, Hanrahan's momentum. I mean, he planned that.
That was incredible.
Half the Poughkeepsie return team followed the shoe. And that's why Faircloth got no blocking, and it's 1st and 10 for Poughkeepsie at the 16.
I think one of the Quakers jumped on it and said, I got it. It went over 10 yards. We have the football.
It's now 2nd and about 18 as they gave Otero no benefit of the doubt. They gave him no forward momentum on that last play when he was dragged out of bounds. And Otero now trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Smart play. They took the timeout. Coach Tribo is taking all his timeouts. He's not going to keep them for next year. He's going to keep them. He's going to get one here, and he's going to try to get the football back here in good shape.
Greeley's final timeout, however, it's now 3rd and 13.
Run the ball, let the clock run down, and get out of here if you're Poughkeepsie.
Unofficially, 50 seconds left in the first half.
Not enough time. If they just run the play, they can run the clock all the way down, Chris. Correct?
That's correct.
How many seconds in high school? 25, 30 seconds to run a play?
30.
So I think that wouldn't be enough time. Well, the girls are discussing strategy right here by the fence. They think they should go for it. What do you think? And there's Cass Kasparis. Where's his bag? Hey, Cass, where's your bag? He had a bag over the camera before. How are you doing?
It's not raining anymore, Jimbo. And there's a shot. Oh, beautiful. That's nice. You know.
Nice fall day at the end of October. High school football. We're seeing a heck of a football game. 7-6. Greeley trails at home. They win. They go to a bowl game. Poughkeepsie wins. They'll go to the bowl game. You hand this ball off and you run the clock out and you're happy with a 7-6 lead at this point. And again, a huge clipping call on the run back. Otherwise, it would have been 14-0. Instead, the Pioneers back at their own goal line, fumble, and it goes the other way, Chris.
Forte on the pitch. Otero loses a lot more.
And he's out of bounds. Oh, no,
but they continue the clock running. It will be 4th down.
I thought he was out of bounds, but I guess he stopped his momentum and they kept the clock running, so that should be it. They'll get the punt off, and that's it. Unless they get a run back here.
But will they get the punt off? That's the interesting thing. Pressure now if they kick the football, which it doesn't look like they're going to do.
And we took a quick shot at Coach Tribo. He loves this type of football game. Guts and glory. His team playing hard on defense right now. But again, Chris, we haven't talked enough about that. If not for that clip on defense, Forte would have had himself a touchdown, Chris, and it would be 14-0. Instead, they take the ball, they get the clip, and then they get knocked back on the penalty, the fumble, and we have a 7-6 contest at halftime.
Halfway through the semifinals here from Horace Greeley High School, the Pioneers lead the extra point, the difference thus far. 7-6. We'll take a break, and we will be back with second half action on Continental Cable.
We were our grandchildren's age, Charlie. Cars didn't even have safety belts.
We didn't need them.
No?
We drove carefully.
They drive carefully, too.
I've been driving longer than they've been alive.
The point is that you are alive.
The point is, I've been driving for 60 years and have yet to have a serious accident. So why should I wear a safety belt now?
Because I love you, Charlie. And I want you driving for many years to come. And because the older we old folks get, the worse our eyesight gets.
And our reflexes.
And our ability to heal from injuries.
And because many of us suffer from all sorts of ailments.
And have to take all kinds of medication.
And these make driving more dangerous, too.
I wear my safety belt for you, Charlie.
And I'll wear mine for you.
Wear yours for everyone you love.
Wear it for life.
One half in the books from Greeley High School. Poughkeepsie holding on to a 7-6 lead And both shoes tied. You can see the right one now taped on Tom Hanrahan's foot. And maybe he should have let it fly, because that kick went shorter than the shoe last time. The up back Curtis Lee takes it back, and Poughkeepsie will have it 1st and 10 on their own 30. So, Jim, one half of the books, 1 point separates these two teams, and it's been pretty much an even battle. There you go, first downs even, very close with the rushing yards. Poughkeepsie with a little bit of an edge running inside. Passing yards, Poughkeepsie with that one big play, the pass to North, and that, of course, is the difference in the total yards, and there's a big stat. Turnovers, 3 apiece, so we are deadlocked, if not for the foot of Fabio Rossi.
And the biggest play in this game is the clip on the run back. Otherwise, it's 14-0, and the Pioneers are looking real good here with the ball at the beginning of the second half. Instead, it's 7-6.
Forte in the flat, complete to Faircloth. The only touchdown thus far, offensive touchdown of the game. Poughkeepsie, 8-yard pass from Sean Forte to Adrian Faircloth. Great catch in the end zone. Rossi with the extra point. Greeley came back, a fumble at the goal line. I believe it was by Forte. The fumble recovered in the end zone by Mark Lardiere. It was on the exchange.
Yes.
Well, on the exchange, you credit the fumble to the QB.
That's right. And I thought there was a flag on the play. I'm sorry, there was not. But right off the bat here, they're going to try to get Forte in the air, change things up a little bit with a 1-point lead as Coach Thompson and the Poughkeepsie squad.
Slot short side on 2nd and 8. First man through is Gary with a big hole, and a Poughkeepsie first down. You know, defensive stats, Jim, we have not kept them, but the one stat that a person up in the press box here is covering is tackles. And Rob Speck has 9 and 3 assists thus far. He has played an outstanding, dominating game on the defensive side of the football.
He has, and this kid Gary, a lot of the Greeley coaches talking about it at halftime. He has surprised a lot of them. He's big, he's strong, he hits the hole quickly. That time gets a huge chunk of yardage, and getting the first down here, a big one for Poughkeepsie as they bring the ball outside their own 42-yard line on their very first drive of the second half, Chris. They go right back to him, and look at him go.
Maurice Gary into the secondary, and he's dragged down. Touchdown-saving tackle by Dan Fallon. Move the sticks. Big gain on the play. 25 yards and a Poughkeepsie first down.
Well, when you got to worry about Forte and you're worried about the other things, let's isolate on the big guy, number 1. He gets the football here, follows his blocking, and this is talent right here. God-given talent. Straight at the middle, big, strong thighs, and he chugs up for 10, 15 more yards, a little bit of speed there. And Gary right now has been a major player in this football game. Forte has not done as much as Gary on offense, except for that wonderful pass.
So another Poughkeepsie first down. Pitch on the option, Ortero down the sidelines. Tackle by Pat Vetter.
Advantage of getting the football first in the second half. You can spend your halftime talking about offensive strategy, and then you can go out and watch it happen on the field. Fake up the middle of Gary, pitch outside. That time they used the big guy as a decoy and got the ball outside.
Rob Speck with another tackle for the Quakers.
Otero that time, and Coach Tribal a little worried. We're talking about it up here in the press box with some of the announcers for Greeley. Next team to score a touchdown may very well have this game in hand. The way it went in the first half with only 2 scores, and the fact that Greeley will probably have to go for the deuce if Poughkeepsie puts this in and kicks the extra point, makes things a lot more pressurized.
3 minutes gone by, third quarter. Gary, tough sledding up front, but still moves the pile about 4 yards. Pat Vetter and Rob Speck once again on the tackle.
Good lead block by Otero, and once again, most importantly, with 6 turnovers in this mud-swept field in the first half, Gary held on to the football. So they keep the ball, and they get it through here, and they get it inside the 20-yard line. Again, it's tough for us to see. We're relying on the monitors here. This press box, as it is, very tough to see corners of the field.
So a 1st and 10 inside the 20 for the Pioneers. On the option, Ortero, not much going outside.
Oh, what a great play on the pursuit.
Fallon the tackle, but Gilbert Song strung it out. It'll be 2nd down.
Excellent play by number 55 there, as Chris mentioned, Gilbert Song in on the tackle along with Sallin, and they busted through to make that play null and void. And
Song playing some taps there for Iran Otero.
It's the famous Greeley Dome on the left side of just behind the end zone there when you first come in. It's been there for years, Chris. See the
2nd and about 11. Straight drop. looking at the 5. Pass incomplete. Intended for Adrian Faircloth. Number 30 is Joe Shin-suk, 5'7", 150-pound senior on the defensive coverage.
I like to take a look at that again, because Shin-suk, I thought, might have got some body there before the ball got there. Watch the straight drop, and there's the floating pass again, which he does so well, and that is very close.
Very close.
His left hand, we didn't see it from behind in the end zone shot, but his left hand, I think, dragged him down by evidence of the way the body went at Faircloth. And Faircloth never gives up on a football. He darn near pulled that thing in, Chris.
3rd and 11 at about the 20. The dive straight ahead to Garrett. Fumbles the football, but it looks like he got it back.
Great play by Gary.
4th and 6 will bring up for Poughkeepsie.
I think he just, let me see if this is luck or a great play by Gary. It looked like he might have just, and the tackle was well done because he held his arms after it went down. Lardiere grabs him and tries to keep his arms back. And look at all the Quakers there, Chris.
Grishman had a shot at it, but Gary said no.
That would have been a big turnover. That's about the 6th fumble of the game. 3 given back for Poughkeepsie. A fumble and a couple of interceptions, 2 fumbles and an interception.
4th and 6 at the 4th and 6 at the 15.
Going for it.
Forte lets it fly. Pass is incomplete, intended for 37, Jerry North at about the 5-yard line.
Broken up by Bard. Chris, I wanted to mention to you, the people from Greeley told me Bard changed his uniform. He ripped number 7, so he's wearing 12 now. We're sorry we didn't give you that, but he makes the play. Play action, 4th and 6, and Bard is right there wearing the brand new number 12 to knock it away. So the senior captain quarterback makes a big play on defense.
If we've been able to find one chink in Forte's armor, it is the fact that he puts a lot of air under the ball when you're going deep, but you can't throw a quick slant.
Coach Tribo talked about it.
About 5 miles an hour.
Quick pass. That's why he wanted to let it win today. He would have taken away the long bomb. The long bomb set up the lone touchdown for the Pioneers and give them the lead. And there's Bard wearing number 12 behind center.
Bard hands it to Lardiere on 1st down.
I don't think there's any question he's going to win the game now. Because anytime you have a 12 in your back, you got a shot. Except for, as we are reminded by the people in the truck, Mr. Murphy down there, Jim Kelly's lost quite a few Super Bowls. But until Kelly lost the Super Bowl, you know, not one quarterback that wore a 12 on his back in 24 Super Bowls lost a Super Bowl unless they were playing against another quarterback with a 12 on his back. Check it out. I looked it up.
You got to get out more, Jim.
I think you're correct.
Gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
I have to agree with you there, Chris. You know, they keep me locked up in Continental Cave. The only time I come out is when I'm screaming on Friday nights.
7 carries, 31 yards thus far for Lardiere.
This is a big, this is a very, very big 2nd down here because they want a shorter 3rd down.
Vard hands it off. Lardiere once again. We'll bring up a 3rd and long. Gain of about 4. 3rd and 6 now coming up for the Quakers. Do you put it up, Jimmy?
Well, you can't be conservative here. This is a game that's going to take you to a bowl. This is a football game in which your team has relied on you all year long. I'm talking about Coach Tribo and having confidence in them. And I think if you run the ball here, unless you get a big hole or that's an absolute play, if there's a play and they're going to line up a different quarterback here, they got Bard in the backfield along with Lardiere. Oh, no, Bard's not even in the game, is he? They're hiding him.
Switonic, yes. Bard is on a wing. Right side, they have a 1-back set with a double wing.
I see him.
Bard split to the right. The quarterback now is Andrew Switonic.
Rip dead ball, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Turns into a 3rd and 11.
And now you have to pass. I think they were going to try something there. That's a play where you want a big 1st down. You need the 6-7 yards. You don't want to put it up. I'm sure there was a play there that's high percentage that has worked for them in the past for that amount of yardage. This is when you bring it out. Key points in the game.
Well, Switonic has the only pass he's attempted thus far was on the botched extra point.
So they're probably going to run it there. They were probably going to run it.
They'll probably run the straight draw. They run a counter. Bard has a huge hole, breaks the tackle, and has a 1st down. Horace Greeley. You know, Antonio Scott If he had made contact and dropped Vard in his tracks, he would have been short by about a yard. They lined Vard up in the slot in the wing, handed it off to him on the counter, and a first down for the Quakers.
Big blocking up front. You see that hole, you see that daylight. That was a great shot from the end zone. You see the hole. Nobody in white with a silver helmet was anywhere near Bard until he busted through the line, and then Talent took over. And you know what? That's execution of line play. The blockers made their blocks, biggest play of the game, and they were able to spring him loose.
They ran over left guard, 64, senior Rob Speck. First and 10 at the 32. Bard back in at quarterback, looking for the flats, lets it fly into double coverage again.
Crazy.
And if Faircloth had not batted it away, Iran Ortero had the angle on the interception. So Vard is just waiting too long. He had a man in the flats go short if they go to double coverage deep. You can see,
yep, he waits here.
You can see Kearns in the flats for a moment, and then double coverage. They had no business throwing the ball to Dan Fallon. I don't care if he's 6'11".
That's a good point by Chris. If we take a look at that again after the next play, you could see the receiver waving his arm. At that point, he should have made the play. It's tough to do. I know you try to avoid the running, the line, the defensive line, but again, he could have hit him there.
Second and 10 with hand-to-hand in motion. Movement. Flags everywhere, and it looked like Lardiere came up out of his stance.
Number 8 moved. He jerked up Pat Vetter. Jerked up for just a second.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Mikey, run that play there.
Chuck Peeves has been a busy man this afternoon.
Let's take a look at it one more time. Kearns is open on the bottom right of your screen. Watch.
There's Kearns. He's got his man beat.
Yep. And there's the throw. And then there's way too many guys in white jerseys there. You're right. I think Otero had the pick. But you can't blame that guy right there. He's had a fine football game in his own right, number 5.
The flats have been open. Poughkeepsie has not been able to keep their linebackers with the tight ends running in the flat, although Vard has been looking too far downfield. Second down and 15. Short man through is Lardiere. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Tackle by 75, Ian Kerwin. 6'2", 275-pound sophomore.
Good block by Jordan Sussberg, center, number 67, Chris. On that play, he stood his defensive lineman up. I mentioned it earlier in the game. A good block as you get up into the chest, underneath the arm points, and move a man so he cannot use his upper torso. He only has his legs now to direct him, and he did that and was able to get Lardiere 4 or 5 yards where, quite frankly, it didn't look like he had any. Another big third down, this time Bard, though, behind center.
I can't even try to figure out what kind of defense Poughkeepsie's got. They pretty much do what they want. Bard, lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle by number 1 is Maurice Gary. And 44 is the man, Ron Graham, who has been isolated on tight ends coming out on those short flat patterns that Vard has not gone to. And I'm trying to figure out whether Graham is a linebacker, a defensive end. You can see when Greeley approaches the football as they go into a punt formation with Grichman, you can't tell whether these guys are playing up, back, whether they're going to blitz. I don't even know if the Poughkeepsie coaching staff knows what they're going to do. Grichman punting from his own 21, wobbly kick, takes a Greeley bounce. And the Pioneers will have it first and 10 on their own 37. Midway through the third quarter, Poughkeepsie hanging on 7-6. Left third quarter, and
hey, it's Joe Montana. Anybody got a pen? Montana's at the game, Chris, and it looks like he's having some sort of bout with a
swatting flies. However, no flies at Crystal Bay. The beautiful ocean breezes is all you'll feel. Dining and catering 7378332 Crystal Bay. Fantastic seafood.
I think we saw a moon there.
Peekskill, New York. Gary on first down.
Shot of the moon there behind the Crystal Bay thing. Looked like a moon over Chappaqua.
Don't forget, turn your clocks back tonight. Turn your clocks back, Jimmy.
Ah, okay. Well, obviously, okay, for all those people watching this on tape, don't turn your clock back. One hour was enough. If you missed Saturday night, though, then turn the clock back.
Well, put it this way. If you turn your clock back every time this game will be on, you'll be waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And you'll have plenty of extra day.
Forte on second down. Greeley shows blitz, and they come. Tripo said he was not going to blitz. Pass in the flat intended for Faircloth. He should have caught that football. It'll be third down.
Excellent coverage, though. Coach Tripo does not like to blitz because he doesn't like to leave his men in single coverage. He leaves his team exposed, as he mentioned to us in the pregame, Chris. But that time, his coverage was fantastic. Everybody was there. A little better pass, he might have been able to get it inside the coverage, but certainly not beyond the coverage. And there's a couple of guys taken in the game today.
Boy, very serious. Guys, you're only down by a point.
And the kid on the right is definitely a linebacker. What do you think? He's got that Dick Butkus haircut you were talking about.
The other guy's too good looking to play football, yeah.
And the adult wasn't too bad either.
Third and 13 at the 27. And very conservative. Ortero gains about a yard. It'll be fourth down. And they, you know, for a team that has isolated so much, put so much of their offense on Sean Forte, I haven't seen it, quite frankly.
Somebody block this man. Can we please block him? I mean, he is, unless he just cannot be blocked. Rod Speck has had himself as good a football game as you can have from the defensive position. Linebacker and coming out of the line that I have ever seen. And we've been doing these games for 5 years. And he's been absolutely incredible in this game.
And Fabio kicking from his 30, end over end, but a good kick. Kearns at the 25. There's a clip. Kearns' run back of over 30 yards will come back. Alex Grishman on the clip.
That's a shame. Second time both these teams, first Poughkeepsie on the defensive interception by Forte, and then of course now on the run back. And you see, Kearns is like, I don't think I needed that clip. But once he got to the wide side, you see that wall of blockers, and there's the call by the ref. And this one is not only coming back, but it's going to go 15 yards back from the place of infraction. So this is a huge penalty. This is a 50-yard penalty when it's all said and done, Chris.
60 yards thus far. Officially,
return,
Greeley for penalties.
On the receiving team, we'll penalize them 15 yards. It'll be first down.
Ouch. 15 yards from the spot of the infraction.
Well explained. Watch him once he gets to the right side of your screen here. You'll see a wall of blue. There's your clip. And there is just blue everywhere. I mean, he had a really good shot here. He cuts inside. Good job by that guy flying in for Poughkeepsie, who made him go in. But that's
that
tough.
Was Curtis Lee, who got hit from behind, along with a little bit of Academy Award.
Yeah.
Going to Curtis Lee.
Hey, whatever gets it done. They're up by a point. You got to get it done here at the 15-yard line. The Greeley needs a drive.
Hanrahan in motion. Forward to pass, short side. It's complete. Joe Kearns is thrown back.
Good, solid tackle by Sean Forte, and he is one primo football player. Double A takedown, 2 points.
Second completion on the afternoon for John Vard.
He almost knocked him over with that pass. That was a heck of a bullet.
Gain of about 6, and that's what they need to do. That pass, there's that pass in the flats to Kern. He's open. You might as well hit him. If he's going to take the punishment, so be it. 6 yards on first down, I'll take it any time.
You know, that's the point. That is it in the nutshell. I don't care if they pass. I don't care if they run crazy options or the drop kick. They've got to get huge yardage on first down because that sets up their running play. They could do things. They have options.
Vard keeps it and breaks a tackle and picks up a Horace Greeley first down. So John Vard has been the lone bright spot offensively thus far for Horace Greeley. Stop the clock with the movement of the chains. Horace Greeley first down.
Bard with a nice play. That is another example of just very conservative play that can make some yardage from the end zone. Good blocking, good move there. He avoids a tackle, and he's able to get on for the first down. And Bard right now, that play has worked every time. Only once I think it didn't work on the other side of the field in the first half. They went away from that a little bit because they went more to the backs, and now I think they go back to Bard.
Initially, it looks like an option as they fake the dive with Lardiere, but there really is no option. You know Bard's getting it, and he uses the back as a blocker. Lardiere into the secondary, 8 more yards for the Quakers as they cross the 40-yard line.
And again, you set up a wide play, you set up the inside play. There's 2 options. Football's a very simple game. It's not that difficult. You get you go outside the hash marks, you go inside the hash marks. You can set up either thing. You have to look at the field in thirds, the outside of the right hash marks, outside the left hash marks, and in between the tackles, Chris. And if you could set up the inside run by getting yardage outside, whether it's from the option play you just mentioned or passing the football like they did on first down, they're allowing their fullbacks to get a push upfield.
Greeley comes up to the line of scrimmage very quickly. Swatonic, the quarterback, hands to Vard, and second effort will give him a Horace Greeley first down as we approach a minute and a half left, third quarter.
And John Bard, we got to give him we've been throwing accolades his way most of the first half, but not as much as Forte, who's been an incredible football player on this afternoon as we watch Horace Greeley Quaker cheerleaders and the crowd there, or the lack of, on the right side of the booth.
That is the Poughkeepsie sideline. That is not the Greeley sidelines.
No,
they are the home team. They have a little bit more of a contingent.
And a lot of people, we had some Somers kids out here, Yorktown kids are here,
Nyack.
guys from Ossining and Nyack.
Nyack, of course, very interested because Nyack Pearl River will play the winner of this game.
And how about this game today with the sun? I know it's muddy and everything. This is the only game that went ahead in Section 1 today. I bet they're kicking.
Vard rolls to his right on first down, pointing out, looking for blocking. And he will be close to another Quaker first down, short by about a yard.
I think he's got it. All right, no, he's right on the sticks. Great play by Bard. That last moment where he put the ball up in the passing position, froze Forte. He'll come out of the right side of your screen. Watch him. He'll come out here. He's looking to run. He's pointing out blockers. Now he puts it up there, and here comes Forte in there just to knock him over. But I think what froze Forte in the secondary, Chris, was that bit of a pump before he got upfield. He milked that pump for as much as he could. Forte ended up tripping him up with a great play from the secondary. But not before that man picked up at least 9 yards, and it's going to be very close. They'll measure. And look at that. He has got all of the field on his back.
67 yards on 12 carries thus far for John Bard.
He's been their star, and yards short, but hey, you'd rather have a second and short here. Again, the playbook is open wide. You could do many things on a second and short. Excellent drive after the penalty on the clip. They had to go inside their own 15, Chris, and they were able to bring the ball into Poughkeepsie territory.
And while the officials are measuring, both teams will huddle with their sidelines. I would give it to Lardier, short, pump it inside. He needs about a yard. I'd come back on first down, throw that flat pass again. Very successful.
How about play action here to Lardier, freeze everybody, and go big on second and short?
I would if they were not 2 for 8 in the air so far.
True, but they have had men open. Let's listen to Coach Tribo. I don't know if we can get this. Let's see what he calls here. This is the coach's dream, second and 1.
Let's put Luke into the boundary, guys. Here we go. We're going to put Luke into the boundary, and we're going to run the belly. We're going to run the belly man. Get in here, better. Okay. Better stay on sides. Where are you, better? No, Tom, you're going to make this block. Here we go. We're going to go wing right, and we're going to run 27 belly man. Okay. Okay. Now you're going to leave. Just take out the end. That was the end of the. You're going up on the linebacker. You're going.
So starting in the fourth quarter, Quakers will have the ball in Poughkeepsie territory.
Here we go.
Somebody must call a timeout. That's a long huddle for Smith.
That was the end of the quarter.
Oh, that was it.
So 3 quarters complete, and we will start the fourth quarter that quickly. It'll be second and a yard. Lots of room to run. It sounds like they want to run up the middle, get that first down.
It's a belly play. They're going to go right up the gut.
Right.
And that was strange. We didn't know it was the end of the quarter because we can't. The clock is out anyway. We can't see the clock from our vantage point anyway. But that was a quick break. Back at it they go. Fourth quarter action, Chris. 7-6. Big drive for Greeley.
Lardier.
First down. He almost lost it.
Crosses the 45, and he'll have a Greeley first down.
That was very close to the 4th turnover of the game for the Quakers. He just did not have that too strong on the chest and was able to hold it on. And then when he got to the actual fray there at the line, he had it well tucked under and set first down now, and this has been an impressive drive by Greeley. They have only thrown 1 pass. They've done most of it on the ground. Bard has loosened things up inside the tackles by going outside, getting good yardage, and Lardier has done the bulk of the work inside.
First and 10 at the Poughkeepsie 44.
Busted play.
Vard on the outside. Breaks the tackle from Rossi. And has himself 6, maybe 7 yards on first down. Tackled by Sean Forte.
Bless Rossi's muddy heart. He had him back in the backfield and could not make the tackle. He got a lot of... Take a look at it right here. Here he is. Oh, number 60. He's got him. No, he doesn't. He slips off the grass in the mud. And Bard able to rush in. And Forte right there along with 37.
Jerry North, first man to hit him. So
tackle, right?
Credit that one to Jerry North. 2nd and 7, pickup of 3.
Again, 2nd and 3, Chris. A busted play. They have got huge yardage on first down this drive.
Lardiere, nothing doing. When they go to that single back set, they always run it.
2 downs here, pal.
And
2 downs.
It's 3rd and about a yard.
You're not giving the football up here. You're going to run the ball twice and get yourself a first down. You're going to let your offensive line do what they've been doing for the last 4 or 5 game minutes. That's get huge yardage. This whole drive has been predicated on getting 6 yards or more on first down. We mentioned it on the very first play in the pass. If you could get 6 yards on first down, you could live a long, long, happy life in a football game.
3rd and about a yard and a half. The ball sits squarely on the 36. They need to get just inside the 35.
Full house in the backfield.
Vard on the keeper. Forward progress gives him a Greeley first down. So when they've needed yardage, they've gone to Vard.
More solid blocking up front by Speck and Maduris. 64 and 66, respectively, first down.
You want yardage, you go to Speck over left guard. And that's what they've done continually. All of Vard's long gains have been over Speck. I mean, they rely on him as much as they do any skilled position player.
Coach Stribel yelling in the instructions to his senior quarterback, Bard, and Speck has been a football animal in this game. You point him towards a guy with an opposite jersey, and he will hit him as hard as he can.
Get him, Chris!
1st and 10, Lardiere stays on his feet. 6 more yards on first down, tackled by Maurice Gary.
Their first down precision in this drive has been stellar. I mean, they have done an excellent job.
Clock continues to run, 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Chris, they started this drive at about 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, or 3 minutes. They have taken half of this second half just off the clock. If they don't score on this drive, they've got to check the football. No fumbles here, because this very well could be their last drive of this type. They might have to pass if they don't score here, Chris.
2nd and 5 at the 30. Vard, straight keep on the option, nothing doing.
Great.
Did not sell the fake enough. 51 was Paxton Gardner.
Oh, nice play by Paxton Gardner. He got in the backfield. That is the first time that Greeley has not got a positive yardage on this drive, and Gardner.
Now, as we wind down, Jimmy, 8 minutes left, 4th quarter, we say not in the football game necessarily, because there is overtime. Of course, these are the playoffs. Somebody's got to advance.
It's kind of hard with 7-6, but you're right. If they do score and it's 13-7 and they
never
score,
know.
That's right.
It could end up that way, and the format, of course, is the famous shootout, where teams flip a coin. You take the ball at the 10-yard line, 4 cracks at the 10, and the opposition has a chance to tie you.
And if you do, you just
we're
keep
not
going.
quite there yet. 7-6. 7.5 left, 4th quarter. Lardiere with a big hole. And that's a big-time tackle by 24 Curtis Lee, because Lardiere was looking towards the end zone.
And Gardner, let's take a look at that again if we can. Paxton Gardner is 1 stitch of jersey away from being behind his team in the football game. Watch, he grabs the jersey, and look at him. He's just barely holding on. Oh, no, 24, you got it. I'm sorry to even doubt you there. Curtis Lee had him by the jersey. Otherwise, he's gone. Great play by Curtis Lee, 24. And an even better call by my partner. He had it.
60 yards, 16 carries for Lardiere, just under 4 yards a carry. You love that from a fullback. 4th and 2.
They need this first down.
Hanrahan in motion, solid keep by Vard. The second effort, the duck underneath of Forte, may have given him the yardage he needs.
No!
First down, Horace Greeley.
Where were they standing?
23-yard line, move the sticks.
The referee, the lines judge, was standing in the wrong spot. I was completely fooled on that play. How about that great play by Bard? Because he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. The second effort, as Mr. Riso told you, got it for him. And it was the man who was in there really grabbing on was Forte. Forte wanted that football back, and that was the game. Because Greeley has taken so much time off the clock and put so much emphasis on this drive on the ground that they have given themselves no room for error. I think this is their one drive for glory.
Hanrahan in motion. Vard looking to pass, and the flats complete to Kearns. Joe Kearns out of bounds. Close to another Greeley first down.
Stopping the clock once again. Good turn by Kearns. This ball's not thrown over his right shoulder. It's thrown over his left shoulder. Good concentration. Makes the catch. Gets tackled out of bounds. Stopping the clock here in the 4th quarter. Great play by Barb, and an even better catch by Kearns because the ball was not thrown to his lead shoulder. Throw behind him, so he had to turn around, make the catch, and then get out of bounds for another big gain on first down.
The flats continue to be open, and they've gone to that play now 3 times on first down. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Man in motion all the way out of the field.
And Greeley will call time. So
Coach Tribo is livid with a capital L, and if you want to capitalize the rest of the letters in there, you can. There's too many guys on the field. They couldn't get Kearns off the field, and they had to take a timeout, but wisely by the senior Bard, a smart kid as well as talented, because this is their drive for the game. They're not going to be able to get the football back here unless they want to throw the ball next time. There's not going to be enough time, Chris.
That's the first of 3 timeouts in the second half for Greeley. Poughkeepsie has all 3 remaining.
I mean, do you agree? I know I'm putting so much emphasis on this drive, but since it's chewing up so much of the clock,
this
they're not going to be able to have another kind of drive.
Oh,
like
absolutely. I mean, this is a ball control offense. This is the football game, this drive right now. And in the background, you hear the Horace Greeley marching band. We heard a little old-time Kansas, mid-70s, Carry On Wayward Son.
That's exactly right.
During halftime.
Marching band Kansas. I have now heard it all.
Good stuff, too.
I heard marching band Nirvana last year, which really, really was the piece de resistance for me as far as musical virtuosity at a football game.
There's a happy Greeley cheerleader. Happy because the sun came out. We did luck out, Jimmy. I mean, I heard the rain last night over and over and over. You drove home in it, and then we woke up this morning at about 10 o'clock, and it stopped, and we really, really lucked out. Lardiere with a big hole. First down and more. First and goal for the Quakers.
Game-saving tackle by Jerry North. Jerry North, number 37, from his cornerback position with a one-arm tackle on Lardiere. If not, he's got himself a touchdown. And it is, fans, first and goal. This will be, if it's come to fruition, an 85-yard drive. 5 minutes away from pay dirt. 5 yards, I should say, away from pay dirt.
First and goal at the 7. Lardiere. The initial tackles by Poughkeepsie are not working. He missed a tackle. I mean, he had him at about the 6. Lardiere's forward momentum carried him down inside the 5, mark it at about the 4, second and goal.
Slowed him down a little bit, though. They get only a couple of yards on first down, but they cut this thing in half. 6 minutes and counting. This is one of the most impressive, long, time-eating drives we have ever seen.
This drive's going over 8 minutes now, Jimmy, on the clock.
It's the entire fourth quarter.
Vard on the keeper. Short of the goal line, mark it down at about the 3, it looks like.
Great play by 2 offensive guys. Gary, who's been great from the fullback position, of course, Forte from the quarterback position. That time they made a great defensive play, and they lose yardage on the play. They might have had to go up to Lardiere there. He had a chance up the middle, and he was stomped on, but he would have got to the 2. Now they have 2 plays to go 5, and you better believe they're going to run 2 plays here.
You know, in Broadcasting 101, you're not supposed to rely on your monitor in the booth, but totally blocked out by the Poughkeepsie coaches. Third and goal. On the counter, it's Vard with Swatonik at quarterback. John Vard, touchdown. Horace Greeley, they take the lead. It's 12-7.
That play has worked every time they've run it. Vard in the backfield, he scores, and he engineered and was the major cog for one of the best drives you will ever see on a 50 by 100-yard rectangle on an autumn afternoon. And Chris, that was a championship bowl surviving drive by the Greeley Quakers. And in a game where there was turnovers everywhere, they ran about 15 to 20 plays and did not put the ball on the ground.
72 yards. Ate up over 9 minutes on the clock, and Horace Greeley takes the lead. They're going for 2.
What a gutsy play by Bard.
Oh, that's the replay.
Chris is announcing the replay twice.
I can't see.
Look at the guy in the box. We got to show that again.
I can't see.
Here comes the deuce, though. Chris.
They are now going for 2. Vard in the flats. Pass is incomplete.
Boy, that looked like face guarding. I don't
Intended
know
for Joe Kearns.
Chris, they had to go for the deuce to make it 14, but instead it's 12-7. But let's look at the touchdown run again, because that was a great play by Bard. He gets the handoff, and second effort is really the underlying theme of that drive. Every time they needed a first down, every time they needed a big run, and every time they needed the touchdown, man in motion is Bard out of the wing position, and he goes through. Watch the guy in the bottom right of your screen. Watch. There he is. He's happy. Now, that guy is happy. Whoever that is was a happy camper as he jumped. And he had to jump a serious amount there to get into camera angle.
83 yards on 18 carries for Vard, including the touchdown. First offensive touchdown in the afternoon for Horace Greeley. And they lead the game 12-7. Now we are really looking at a very difficult scenario for overtime, Jim. 5-point difference.
That's right. And also what we're looking at is arguably the best player in Class B, Section 1, behind center, trying to bring his team back with 6 minutes or 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter of a game that will decide the future and the season of his football team.
3 timeouts remaining for the Pioneers. They send Forte and Faircloth back deep. Hanrahan, hey, that's a good kick.
What a great
touchback for Tom Hanrahan. Poughkeepsie takes over 1st and 10 at the 20. The only bright spot for Poughkeepsie on that play, no time eating off the clock.
And the best thing about that play for Greeley is he kept his shoe on.
5:06 remaining in the fourth quarter. Horace Greeley, the Quakers lead the Pioneers from Poughkeepsie 12-7.
This game now rests on the shoulders of number 25, Sean Forte. He's got to get behind center and do what John Bard did. Just like a great boxing match, Frazier and Ali. One guy hits, the other guy takes the hit and comes back.
Forte keeps it on 1st down, and we'll have about 8 yards.
He's got to get
Grishman on the bottom of the pile along with John Vard.
And thanks to that unbelievable time-consuming drive by Greeley, 5 minutes and less remain, so they've got to hurry up with these huddles. They do not have the luxury of running the football, staying back, calling plays. They've got to get up there, call a couple of plays in a row, and as you saw, Forte taking it on the bootleg, it's going to be on his shoulders. They're going to use the man that could get it done in possibly his last 4 minutes.
Faircloth,
Pioneer uniform.
Faircloth slot right on 2nd down. On the reverse is Faircloth. And it looked like good pursuit, but the forward progress will give Adrian Faircloth a Poughkeepsie 1st down.
Great misdirection and a fantastic pitch at the number 5 to Faircloth from Forte.
Rob Speck on the tackle.
Of course.
For Horace Greeley.
They're going to be looking at film and wondering who in the world can block number 64.
4.5 left now on the clock in the football game. Clock stopped momentarily with the movement of the chains. It's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for Poughkeepsie. Quarterback draw. Forte doing his forte. First down for the Pioneers, pickup of 12.
Well, he is going to be the focal point of this drive. The entire 95 Poughkeepsie football season rests on his shoulders, and they're not going to fool around. They're going to let the big guy do it, and a holding call will negate it. And instead of a 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, it is going to be 1st and 20
at the 20.
That's not
huge.
We have holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
That is a drive killer and maybe a season killer. Now that takes away the quarterback draw. Now, they're going to focus on number 25, but Chris, you'd have to imagine in the next 4 plays, and believe me, that man's defense is going to see 4 plays, they're going to have to throw the football.
They're going to have to throw the football, but they don't have to go for the downs on every play.
No.
Forte can drop back. He's got the option to scramble, but if they throw into the flats, he doesn't throw a hard slant pass. However, if he could pump a little bit, maybe pump and go deep, not a straight drop back. 5 formation on 1st and 12. There's the pump, and there's the deep ball. Single coverage, terrible pass intercepted by John Vard, his 2nd interception of the game. Vard heads out of bounds. It'll be Greeley football in Poughkeepsie territory at the 42. Setting the scenario right now, Poughkeepsie has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. They're going to have to hold. They still have a shot, but they're going to have to hold Greeley. Forte had no business throwing this football.
Well, he's just trying to get something going. As Chris said, you can't go for the whole thing. And in the end, Chris, we talked and waxed poetic about Sean Forte and the man who made the biggest play of the day. 2 big plays, touchdown run, and the interception was his opposite number, John Bard.
4-minute warning. 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And I think at this stage we can say the football game. Greeley leads 12-7. They just took the lead for the first time on the afternoon moments ago. John Vard on a 3-yard keeper. The winner plays the winner of Nyack Pearl River, which will take place this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon because of the rain. And they will play
with only 4 minutes left in this game. The defense for the Pioneers right now has one plan. Tackle, put your two hands together in a T, and get a TO right here.
This is a pet peeve of mine, that teams do not use clock management. Poughkeepsie has 3 timeouts. They can use all 3 timeouts right now if they decide to.
They have to use them all.
Well, some teams like to conserve them. We'll see what Poughkeepsie does.
Well,
First and 10, just outside the Poughkeepsie 40-yard line. Vard on the keeper. And he picks up 5 yards, tackled by Maurice Gary. Poughkeepsie has had 1, 2, 3 shots on John Vard all afternoon and have not been able to capitalize. Vard once again running over Rob Speck. Bard.
That's all right, Christopher. He's done fantastic, though, all day long with all the other names.
V's are easier than B's.
That's right. But one thing about Bard right now, again, just like with Forte, Coach Stribo knows where his bread is buttered, and it's buttered from the quarterback position, and he is not going to fool around with bad exchanges, passes, rollouts. He's going to let his quarterback run the football, and Poughkeepsie does not take a timeout.
Once again, Lardiere running behind Rob Speck.
It's dangerous.
Gain of about a yard. It will bring up 3rd and 3.
Timeout taken.
And now Poughkeepsie calls timeout. So actually, that is a good move. For them to call the timeouts in the first 3 play from scrimmage would have been a mistake, because there would have been time lapsing during the punt and the exchange and the change of possession. So now they're going to call it on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down.
Good point. Good point. But again, for the Greeley right now, their 95 season, well, it's a first down. Their 95 season is 4 yards from going on to a bowl game.
3 minutes left, 4th quarter. 12-7. Touchdowns thus far. The Pioneers got on the board first. An 8-yard pass. Forte to Adrian Faircloth. The extra point kick was good. And hey, Jimmy, if you love Chinese food possibly as much as I do, I don't know if that is possible. The best Chinese takeout around is Highland Oriental for free delivery in Croton, Briarcliff, and Ossining. They're open Friday and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to midnight, and the Key Sunday, noon to 11 p.m. on 190 Highland Avenue in Ossining. And even the planes are flying down, trying to land at Highland Oriental.
Let me ask you something, Chris. Great read, by the way. Who gets these plane shots, and how do they know why? Were they paying attention to the game? Mike Cook is the king of the plane shot.
3rd and 3. Vard keeps it, and he will have a very interesting spot.
He's got to get to the 30.
He's short, Jimmy, by about a half yard. And Poughkeepsie calls, actually...
No, Poughkeepsie's got to call a timeout.
Poughkeepsie does call a timeout. I was going to say, could they save it because of the measurement, but you don't want to, because then the clock will start right away.
Now, let me ask you this. You're on the 30-yard line. You get a first down, and you're going to a bowl game next week. If you punt and give the ball back to Forte, you rely on your defense.
You got to go for it.
Do you go for it?
You go for it. Under no circumstances do you punt the football. A bad snap could occur.
We've seen that already on the 2-point conversion. That did not happen. They did not get the ball to him. I think, Chris, I agree 100% with you. This is a gutsy call by Coach Schreiber. I don't think you can make any other call. You have to go for it here. Less of a chance to screw up anything if you just run. You're only talking about a yard, and the game is over ostensibly if you get this first down.
If you don't get it, you give Poughkeepsie the football back, but they don't have any timeouts left.
Agreed. I think they'll have one more.
2:47 remaining.
Right? One more timeout they have, I think?
They will, yes, they will have it. They will have it. If the game changes possession now, they will have one timeout remaining. Good call, Jim.
Okay, this is the 95 season for the Poughkeepsie Pioneers and the Horace Greeley Quakers. Let's watch.
He's keeping it. He got it. He needed to cross the 30. He did. Move the sticks. All Poughkeepsie can do now is call their final timeout and pray for a fumble.
Warm up the buses, Chris. Greeley's going to a bowl game undefeated, and who would have thunk it?
If I called Vard once again, I apologize, because he has been the man.
He has been the man, and Chris, even though we have loved, and I cannot say enough about him, and I hope he comes on our pregame, postgame show as well. Rob Speck has been one of the best football players on this field today, but you got to give the nod to John Bard for the Crown Trophy player of the game.
Can we give co-MVPs?
I don't know.
Saying it on the air, I'm putting it.
I don't know. You have to ask Mike Miner and the people there, the good people at Crown Trophy, but I tell you, they both deserve it. Great tackle in the backfield by Gary, but a little too late. As Bard did all the things you have to do. He has 2 pickoffs on the day defensively, great drives, and the biggest plays, I think, on those drives. That last drive was indicative. This whole game is encapsulated in a microcosm to that one drive.
Encapsulated in a microcosm.
And there are the people at Crown Trophy. Give them a call. They provide the Crown Trophy player of the game. And even though I'd love to give co-MVPs, I don't know.
I would love to.
Bard deserves it, and so does the big guy in the middle. And I've had a ball watching Rob Speck.
I don't think we've had a lineman all year get it, and he really, really has stood out. Lardiere on first down, second down, check that. And he stood up by Fabio Rossi, but Poughkeepsie now in a very helpless position. Clock winding down, minute 30 left.
Time, the
1:25 and counting.
The incredible.
So says the watch. On the sleeve of Chuck Beebs.
Excuse me, Chris. The incredible job done by Mr. Speck in this game was outstanding. He kept them in the game. But the reason why Greeley won the football game is John Bard.
No, Elton Brand is not the MVP this afternoon.
But he'll win plenty of those come wintertime. Of course, you're talking about the wonderful junior center for the Peekskill Red Devils.
You know, if they did this, he could be preseason MVP. Yeah. Preseason player of the year, quite frankly. I mean,
but you got to stay healthy. Just look at the Shaq man in the NBA. He's not going to be. He's going to be out for the first 2 months. That's going to take away his chance for scoring title again. You got to stay healthy and get in there and play. And until that happens. All right, Mikey, reminding me to remind everybody to watch Sports Talk Live on Friday evenings. We talk about high school sports as well. Got a lot of calls on that this week, as well as pro sports. We're having a lot of fun down there, Chris, screaming and yelling, giving away free stuff, and everybody gets a chance, and it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a show for the fans, and it's 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock Friday evenings on Continental Cable.
How about Valhalla? Once again,
and we
the
got a lot of
Lords
calls
above. The infamous Piner system as Grishman punts on third down. Check that, it was fourth down, I'm sorry.
And that was a big play. We've been putting the dirt over these guys, but with Forte back there receiving the punt, good job getting it away by Grisham. Good job on the coverage by those guys, and they're able to stop them. And now it'll take a miracle, a real superstar play. And if there's one guy in Section 1 that can do it, it's Forte.
39 seconds left, no timeouts for the Pioneers.
Inside, Chris, their own 10, or no, at their 11.
Forte, as good as he is, has one objective: get out of bounds.
Or throw the ball as far as he humanly can.
Faircloth in a slot left. Pass is
incomplete, and
a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you cannot catch a ball here and have a dead ball, because they've got to get out of bounds. Brent Randolph, number 82, who split wide left, doesn't even look like he goes into patterns. He just looks like a decoy for Faircloth as Faircloth cuts underneath him. If you sent Randolph deep, and if he has the ability to catch a football, 5'6", 150-pound senior, he is wide open on just about every play, because they are really double-teaming Faircloth, and for good reason.
And they got to keep an eye on Forte, although obviously his ability to run now is diminished by the fact that if he gets tackled in bounds, this game's over.
He's going for that man, Randolph, and it's intercepted and dropped. Greeley playing the safety valves. Good man-to-man coverage by number 30 is Joe Shin-Sug. Will bring up a 3rd and 10.
Got to put the safeties deep on these plays, because if the guy does catch it, you got to be there to tackle him. You do not want a busted play here and lose the football game within the last 27 seconds. And Chris, if these 27 seconds tick away, Horace Greeley, this was a playoff game for them, as you mentioned in the pregame. Even if they get blown out next week, or anything that happens next week, if the bus gets lost, it's been a great season, and they have had one of the greatest victories in the history of the school this afternoon.
Forte on third down, over the middle. It'll be a first down for Faircloth, and he is almost decapitated. Gilbert Song. First down, clock continues to run. Clock stops with the movement of the chains. It continues now. We are down to 10 seconds.
I think they stopped the clock. And they will start it right now.
Forte's got to spike it. He decides not to. Now we may see some fun. the deck.
No, we're going to see another tackle by
Pat Vetter.
Yeah.
Pat Vetter and Eric Kuntz will have none of that.
Speck was there too again, of course. This is it, the last play of the game. I don't even know if they're going to get this off. Clock will start right now, and they do get it off, and it doesn't matter. It's fumbled, and it's still there. We're playing soccer.
That's a live ball. That's a live football, and Forte is hammered out of bounds. He's hammered down. Fumble. This is out of hand.
I'll tell you, this is out of hand, Chris. You know what's in hand? A victory for the Horace Greeley Quakers. They are going to a 1995 Class B bowl game. Congratulations to Coach Tribo and the entire Greeley program. And there seems to be some sort of fracas breaking out here as the Poughkeepsie team obviously perturbed, and somebody threw a punch, but I think everything has been taken care of as...
We will be back to talk to the coaches and the players right after this.
In an emergency, when seconds count, we're trained to look for Medic Alert's emblem. A call to Medic Alert's emergency center gives us vital information about conditions, medicines, physician, and family. Information that helps us give fast, accurate treatment that saves lives.
Millions worldwide depend on Medic Alert protection. To learn more, ask your pharmacist or call 1-800-ID-ALERT. That's 1-800-ID-ALERT.
Well, 7-7 final. Greeley goes on to a bowl game. Co-MVPs for the first time we've ever had Crown Trophy co-MVPs. Rob Speck and also John Bard. Excellent game, guys. You were unbelievable. Was there three guys with 64 in their back in this game?
No.
How big of a win was this for you guys? Even no matter what happens next week, an excellent postseason win.
Oh yeah, it was great. We're going to the #1 bowl for the first time, I guess, or I don't know if it's the first time, but I think we're all psyched.
Well, congratulations. You're a muddy mess, but you did a great job. Excellent job. Bring in John. John, excellent drive. 9 minutes plus, end of third quarter, beginning of fourth quarter. Fantastic run for the touchdown.
Yeah, well, it was difficult. Every yard counted in this, and I don't know. Everyone was playing well. Just drove down the field, and
everything, the slick ball in the first half, second half with 4.
You saw the end back for a touchdown, which luckily got called back. But we were never settled. We always had to watch out for the play, and we had to play hard the entire game.
Excellent interceptions as well on defense. John, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Class B in the pocket. Good job. You're on the way to the bowl game. Get that extra day off. We just talked about it.
It's very important, and you know, I'm real happy that we got this game in today. You know, we're going to start preparing for both teams right now. We're going to go home right away and do that. And again, my kids get an extra day, which is going to make a big difference.
Coach, congratulations. Good luck next week.
Appreciate it.
Christopher?
Jimmy, stay tuned to Continental Cable all week, and we will let you know where we will be next week. The playoffs continue here on Channel 6. For Jim Campion and Mike Miner and the entire crew in the trucks behind the stage, thanks very much. It's been a lot of fun out here on the 50-yard line.